Hello YouTube, this is the Macabre Shop. My name is Medina and thanks for joining us. As the title says, I'm going to show you guys how to reroot a doll today. This will be a tutorial for vinyl dolls. Barbies, Monster High, Ever After High, vintage vinyl dolls, you know, those types of things that have that squishy-ish, kind of rubbery, plasticky head. I hope that all makes sense. Anyway, this is a no rules way of doing it. I believe that crafting should be like very free-spirited. I think you should do crafty things when you feel like cheering yourself up or relaxing or, you know, that kind of stuff. And crafts should be a happy thing. You should be making crafts, you know, for yourself or your home or to share with other people. And that's what I think the point is. So, as far as my tutorials go, there's never any rules to doing it right or wrong or anything like that. By all means, get creative, do your own thing, try new stuff, whatever you want to do. That being said, you are going to need to grab a few things in this tutorial. Now, I'm doing most of this as a narrated voiceover, so this part is being done in my office. The other part would be done at a different desk, kind of like a crafting desk, so that you can see everything very clearly and all of that stuff. What you will need that I can tell you about right now is you have to watch the previous video I made about creating your own reroot tool. If you don't already have a reroot tool, I made a pretty cool little tutorial about making one with some things you might probably already have around your house if you're pretty crafty, and I will link you to that video now. Alright, so after you have finished watching that video, you come back to this one and we can go ahead and reroot a doll. So go ahead and pick out that doll that you want to reroot and pick out the hair that you want to use. So I'll tell you in advance, you don't have to order chunks of hair online or get them from craft stores or whatever. You can use Halloween wigs. You can use the kind of hair products that you find at a dollar store. Like there'll be like little clip-in hair extensions or whatever, little cheap whatever. That's where I get some of the crazy colors, is actually at the dollar store. You can get hair from like numerous places. You can cut it off of another doll that has really long hair. Keep in mind that for this tutorial, you are going to be folding that hair plug in half, like a strand this long. It's only going to be about that long in the doll's head. So keep that in mind. So this is my super quick and easy way to reroot doll's hair. I will do the tutorial portion for you, and then with the finished doll head, I will do a separate video showing you how to style the doll hair. And I'll probably get that done next week. Please enjoy. I hope everything's clear. If it's not, please feel free to ask me questions below. Alright guys, so to start this tutorial, I went ahead and grabbed this box of dolls that I've gotten that need a lot of TLC because they came from yard sales or the thrift store or whatever. And I'm just going to go ahead and pick which doll I think I would like to work with. Gotta live in a Clio, gluey, and some Spectras. I'm just comparing the hair segments that I have to see which one will look better. I think the Spectras are going to look cute with pink and purple hair. Alright, so these are some bows made out of like saran hair that I got at the dollar store. They're pretty cool and they're easy to dismantle. And then these are those extensions I was talking about, also from the dollar store. And these are some hair plugs I got at a yard sale for 50 cents. Yeah! Now for some of the tools I'm going to be using. Got some scissors, these Forceps, tweezers just in case, and the reroot tool of course, and Spectra. Yep, she's a cute one. I like her because she has that pink over her eyes. I'm also going to detail all of the tools I ended up using in the description, and feel free to pause whenever necessary. Like now, here's some quick tips for removing the doll head. Now I've got the head off, and I feel confident with the hair selection. So I'm going to go ahead and remove her earrings, and make sure you don't lose them, they're so tiny. And then you're just going to hack away at her hair with your scissors. I put it in a little cup to keep it out of the way. And you basically want to get her to the point where she has a shaved head. So completely shaved as close as you can, just don't hurt the head, be really careful. And there's going to be a lot of like little loose hair everywhere, so just make sure you clean up once you feel like you're good and done with that part. Put it in my little cup. And then once you've got your shaved head, it will look a lot like this. Next, I like to get a Phillips screwdriver and I'm going to rub it on the inside of the head
and this is going to pull the hair into the head from the scalp. I've just found that a Phillips screwdriver, like a wide one, works best for this because it's just really sturdy, but I've used a lot of things in the past, like even a pen and a needle nose plier, so you can totally feel free to use whatever works for you. It's definitely trial and error. You want to see the hair being pulled in, because once it is, you can whip out your tool for grabbing the hair from the inside of the head and pull it all out. So I like using Forceps for this part because they give me a really good grip, but I think the best thing to use is some long, strong needle nose pliers. There's so much glue and sticky, gross stuff in the head. My experience is that you will eventually just come across like some massive chunks of gluey hair, and when you get the last, like, biggest one out, that's like, finally, you're finished. But it does take some elbow grease and hard work. So just keep working at it. Don't give up. This is probably the hardest part of the whole process. And here's that last chunk. See? Gross! It's just so nasty. Ew. Nope. Yeah, gross. But the good news is that now the head is... Yay, finally! So I'm just going to clean it up and move on to the next part. By the way, my assistant today is my J doll, Galerie Saint Hubert. This is the type of doll that she is, just in case you're wondering. Now I'm going to work on dismantling these hair bows, and it's a little bit tedious, but it's worth it because they were super cheap and easy to use. So I just get it down to the point where it is just one long, huge strand of hair, pull off any pieces that are just knots, and brush it out. Then I'm going to run a wet paper towel over it, and this is just going to give me a little bit more control over it. Oh yeah, and go ahead and cut off any gluey pieces at the top. This pink one gave me a little bit more trouble, but I was able to go ahead and get it apart. There was just some hot glue in different parts of the hair, so I sacrificed a couple of strands and went ahead and cut them off. And now here's something random and funny.
Oh, are you not going to play it anymore?
When I got beat in the face by a guy named Crack Licker.
Crack Licker?
Yep. And died. Because he attacked me from behind and I was doing something and I realized what came up behind me while I was doing that. Sort of beat my head in.
That's cool. Would you make me a coffee too?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, you can help me now. You might want to grab a seat because it'll probably take me like maybe 5 minutes to do this.
Now I've gotten all the hair off the doll head, and as you can see, there's these patterns and lines that you can follow to root. And I'm going to do one last check, make sure I'm happy with these colors. And this is how you root. You flip it around your finger, scoop it up with the tool, and put it in an existing hole in the doll's head. I'm going to do it once more in slow motion for you guys, just in case you missed it the first time. Again, feel free to pause. Wrap it around your finger, use the Reroot tool to scoop it up with the longest end. There you go. And then you're going to pull the hair back onto the tool, pull it back pretty tightly, and secure it with your thumb. And then again, you're going to pick an existing hole in the doll's head, push the hair in with the Reroot tool, twist slightly, and release. See, that wasn't so hard.
I'm just going to watch Netflix until this camera dies. Actually, can you do me one more favor? And then I will leave you alone for like an hour.
An hour?
An hour.
Wow.
Takes a long time to root a doll head.
Alright, now it's time for some super fast forward doll rerooting skills here. Oh yeah, and don't forget to, like, you know, have some fun, listen to music, watch some Netflix, do something. Yeah, jam out. I started with the pink hair because I wanted to make sure that I kept it pretty well balanced and that I'd be able to go in with the purple and darken it up if needed. So I just put some dark purple in between the pink, added some contrast.
Alright guys, I know I've been narrating and stuff, but just to fast forward, because I don't want this to be like a never-ending video, I wanted to let you know that I already used one of these little dollar store bows, and then I've used most of the pink dollar store bow, and I am almost finished. So this is kind of how Spectra is looking now. The hair at the bottom is crazy and tangled, because that's just what happens sometimes when you're rerooting doll hair. So hopefully the next part of this video I will be finished. Right now she's looking great and everything, but if you look behind, if I open up her hair here, you can see the back of her head just hasn't been done at all. For the back of the head, I like to start in the middle. So do your whole perimeter, and then make sure you fill in any little gaps that you might see in the perimeter, because that's the part of your doll that is going to be the most visible. And then I start at the middle of the head with a couple of thick strands, and then I go ahead and finish with some thin strands. When you see the holes in the back of the head, they're a perfect guideline if you want your doll to have the same style that they started out with, but you don't have to fill every single hole. Once the perimeter is done and the perimeter looks good, you're kind of good to just kind of fill in and make it look more full, and that's all you really have to do there. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is that if you want to put your doll's hair in a ponytail, you are done now, because all you have to do is pull it back in its ponytail. Don't have a rubber band handy, but you get the idea. You would just go ahead and pull it back in the ponytail, and because you finished your perimeter, that's finished, and you can move on to the next video I'm going to make, which is about hairstyling, where I'll show you how to style a ponytail or a long hair or whatever you want to do. If you're going to do pigtails for your doll, you need to follow the guideline down the middle of the head, but you want to create two lines right beside each other down the middle of the head, as close as possible, because if you don't pack in hair there, your pigtails won't look right. So maybe I'll do a tutorial some other time where I do pigtails and show you how that's done, because it does take a little bit more work.
Since I was running a little bit short on time, I decided that I did want to go ahead and give Spectra a ponytail. And because this is not a knotting technique of rerooting, we're going to use Elmer's glue on the inside of the head, pretty good amount, maybe like a dime-sized amount, and squish the head to get it in all of the hair, and this is going to secure it inside the head. I usually do this twice, lots and lots of squishing. If the glue starts to come out of the head, then you've used too much glue. So like I said, twice, maybe a dime-sized amount. And then I just gently brush it out. And remember, this is fast-forwarded, so there was a little bit of time, about 5 minutes, where the glue got to dry before I did the ponytail and all of that. So what I'm doing with my forceps here is I'm just pulling her hair out of the ponytail slightly to give it a little bit of a poof, kind of like a pompadour effect, because I want it to be even all the way around. So just stick the tool in gently and pull it slightly out of the ponytail. If you mess up with this part, just gently pull the ponytail out and start over again. I think that's about it, and she's good to go. She's ready for her hair styling now. I put her in a Caddy Noir dress just so I wouldn't be showing you like her naked body, but this is how it turned out. I'm very happy with it.